Let's go straight to our political panel for the night. Joining me here in Los Angeles is Ron Brownstein, senior political analyst and opinion columnist at Bloomberg, former Congressmember Katie Porter, former candidate for governor and for senator from California. She was the first Democrat elected to represent California's 45th congressional district. And Matt Klink is a Republican strategist and owner and president of Klink Campaigns Incorporated. Full house tonight, lots to talk about. Ron, let's start with you.
Yeah.
And so far, reason to keep watching.
Absolutely. I mean, the late, we did not have high quality public polling, independent public polling at the end, but the kind of mishmash of polls that we had, most of them from the El Sayed camp, had him way ahead, 15 to 20 points ahead. And look, I mean, if you look at the base of support of each of these candidates, it's very consistent with what we've seen in other primaries around the country that have had this kind of left-center divide. He is relying, even though he styles himself as an economic populist, not really winning that many working class voters, relying primarily on college graduates and young people. So college graduates turn out in primaries, young people are a little iffier, and her coalition is what we used to talk about as the beer track coalition of the Democratic Party. Seniors, black voters, non-college whites, maybe a little bit more reliable voters, which probably explains part of the problem with the polling, maybe overestimated how many young people would show up. It still looks like his hand is a little better, but there are some pretty clear warning signs for him in terms of these results about what a general election might look like.
And Congresswoman, you say this is sort of the representation that maybe X or Twitter is not real life.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw so much enthusiasm on the internet for Abdul El Sayed. He's very charismatic. He's been running a podcast. Let's face it, he's good looking. He's enthusiastic. He's new in office. Haley Stevens has been in Congress 8 years, and she's being styled here. She started with me, and she's being styled here as the establishment, like career politician. And so I think you saw a lot of enthusiasm about El Sayed as a new voice, and that is, I think, good for the Democratic Party. But I think Democrats are also, with Trump, with so much at stake, saying to themselves, I want to know what I'm getting. I want to know what someone's going to do. I want the person who's shown they can win in Michigan in the past.
Yeah.
How do you see the numbers so far, Matt?
If I were Dr. El Sayed, I'd be a little worried right now that I think that his campaign they started to drink their own Kool-Aid. Yeah. And I think that it's a heck of a lot closer. And I think that, your reporter Jeff highlighted it. It's going to be the spread in Wayne County. He won't win Wayne County, but it's the spread. If it's a big spread, it's going to be a really bad night for him. But he did run a good campaign. He ran on 3 issues. Less money in politics, more money in your pocket, Medicaid for all. That was the answer to everything.
Medicare for all.
Medicare for all, excuse
right?
me.
Yeah.
He ran, that was his answer to everything. And I think it's easy to remember what he stands for.
And look, those are 3 winning issues, in my opinion, for Democrats. And those are issues I ran on when I won in a Purple Orange County. And didn't just win my primary, but went on to beat the incumbent Republican. So I actually do think El Sayed is going to pull it out here. And I do think that the fact that he picked those issues, as opposed to some other progressive issues, will put him in a good place when he has to pivot to the general election.
If he's the nominee, we will see whether Medicare for all, a government-run single-payer healthcare system, can be sold in a swing state, which we haven't really tested before. But I will say the starkness of the divide in their coalitions, and you look at the counties, either one wins, they're going to have a lot of work to do to knit together to the Democratic Party for November.
And if he wins, selling that to the Senate and getting 60 votes for that.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Is very challenging.
That'll make this election look easy.
He says he's going to do it on day one, and good luck with that. All right, Katie, Matt, Rob Brownstein, all sticking with us, so we'll get back to you.